Hey crafters, I'm gonna show you how to make pom-poms like this tiny baby and some that are closer to like 3 or 4 inches around. These are great for all kinds of crafts. I use them for gift wrapping. I put pom-poms on my curtains. They have so many fun uses. I'm Janny and welcome to Craft Savvy. To make the little baby pom-pom, I use a fork, and you take your yarn and thread it through the center tines, just like so. And then I will wrap it around about 40 to 50 times. Now you don't want to pull this tight. You just want to loosely wrap it. If you pull it too tight, it's going to make it smaller. And the looser it is, it's going to make it wider. But you don't want it to be too loose, obviously. So just use your best judgment. Once you've wrapped it 40 or 50 times, go ahead and snip off that loose piece of yarn. Then take another piece of yarn, and I like to make it maybe a foot or two, I don't really do exact measurements here, and snip that off. Then I will move the yarn ball to the center of the fork and take my loose string of yarn and thread it into that center tine. And then I will pull that string behind the yarn ball. Then you want to tie a knot around the yarn ball. Tie it good and tight, and then we are going to pull that yarn ball off of the fork. Pull the knot tighter, and then I use my finger to hold it in place and tie a second knot. Once you have both knots good and tight, you want to pull those center strings off to the side and trim off the little strings. Don't trim the big strings unless you don't need to attach this to anything, but usually you want to attach a pom-pom to something. So I like to leave the two long strings. Then it's time to start snipping the loops. Now, if your scissors are not snipping very well, either you need to upgrade to fabric scissors instead of craft scissors, or you're taking on too much yarn. Take on less yarn and it will cut nicely. Now it's time to cut them so that they are even. You want them to be pretty much flat with each other. Now be careful not to cut off too much here. You don't want to make this pom-pom too small, but see how the center is shorter than the sides are? You want to trim those sides to be even with the center. Once you have things fairly even, it's time to switch it up. Either shake the pom-pom or roll it in the palms of your hands, and you will see all of the loose stragglers that you didn't get. This one looks like it has a mohawk. I don't want a mohawk on my pom-pom, so trim those off so that you can make this a perfect circle. Remember not to cut off those side strings. If you do, and you want to attach this to something, it's going to be a royal pain to reattach a string to the center of the pom-pom. So do your best not to cut those two extra long side strings. Once you've finished evening everything out, you're ready to attach this to your project. Now for the next size, instead of using a fork, we're going to use our hands, okay? What you do is just wrap it around your fingers. You can put it between your fingers if you want. I just wrap it around and then make sure I go back over the top of the string so I don't have to hold it anymore. And I'll go around it about 60 times if I want to make a half pom-pom, and about 100 to 120 times in order to make a full pom-pom. Now, same as last time, you're going to want to snip off that string, but unlike last time, you'll want to take the ball off of your hand before you tie it, because otherwise it just ties up your fingers, and then when you try to get your fingers out, it just messes up all the work you did. So I take the ball off of my fingers, and then I flatten it against the table. And again, you cut about a foot or two of yarn, and this time you want to place the ball onto the string of yarn. Then just like before, you're going to tie a knot to secure it, and then a second knot to make that knot stay in place. Then you pull the long strings out of the way, trim off the short strings, and start snipping the loops. And if this video has been helpful so far, it'd be amazing if you'd hit that like button. Then it's time to even up the sides with the center strings. Make sure they're all the same size. shake it, roll it, and even it out again. And you're ready to go. If you want to see how I turn these pom-poms into gift wrap bows, you'll want to watch this video next. And if you want to see more crafting tutorials like this, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Later, crafters.